What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and today we are talking about Jon Cryer as Lex Luthor. Now, look, I went on record as saying that I just didn't feel that Jon Cryer could accurately portray what needed to come out as Lex Luthor on the show Supergirl. Now, before I even get into my critique of his episode here, the first episode, he's going to be in another one here this next Sunday, and then later on in the season finale. I just want to say this: I have my opinions. You can have your opinions. That's fine. That's what the Poindexter Lounge is all about. It's about everybody expressing their views and their opinions. So I in no way am trying to tell you how you should feel about Jon Cryer's performance as Lex Luthor. I'm not telling you that you're wrong. I'm just telling you how I feel, okay? Is that all right? Is that fair? Just letting you know how I felt about the performance, about the episode in general. And that's just kind of where I want to go with it, all right? So let's jump in. First of all, let me say a positive. There were lots of really great nods to Lex Luthors of the past, right? There were a lot of really cool little nuances, little things that were in there that I thought were done really, really well. And I really liked them. I love the fact that those things were written into it. I mean, when and this minor spoilers here, but when he gets up at the end and he yells for Miss Tessmacher, totally a callback to the Gene Hackman Lex Luthor from the Christopher Reeve movies. And so that was just awesome, right? And to see the plan that he had put together, excellent. The plan was excellent. All that stuff was really, really good. My problem is really just Jon Cryer, and I like Jon Cryer. I think he's a great actor. And I'm not saying that he did a bad job. I'm not saying that he wasn't serious enough, because I felt like he was serious. That wasn't it. Physically, that's where I have the problem with it. Is physically, I did not feel that he was pulling off that character. You know, anytime they backed away and they showed a more of a picture of him from a distance, he just didn't look commanding in the role. He didn't look like he was in charge of that scene anymore. He's a very small man. He's a tiny man, and that's fine, but just not for that character. And I don't know. It just is what it is for me, really, at this point. Because, like I said, the writing was fine. I loved the twist. I loved the conniving way that they portrayed Lex. All those things. Just for me, it was the wrong actor. And it's not because I think Jon Cryer is a bad actor. I watched 2.5 Men, and even though the show was a train wreck towards the end, he was really good at what he did. And he's a great comedic actor. And I've seen him in some more serious things. And so he was able to pull that off, but just not in Supergirl for me as Lex Luthor. He didn't seem like, even when he had a one-up on his sister, he still didn't seem to have a one-up on his sister. You know what I mean? There was a glimmer. There was a moment there when he reveals his plan at the end to Lena, and catches her with the twist and the little, like, I did this anyways kind of deal. There was a moment, and I saw that glimpse of what could be. But as soon as he stood up, he takes the thing off, stands up, it was gone. It was just gone for me. And and to be honest with you, also, I don't like the bearded look. I don't like that look for Lex Luthor. I know he's in jail. I get it. But to me, when I think of Lex Luthor, I think of this commanding presence. Now, yes, Gene Hackman played a completely different type of Luthor back in the 70s, and it wasn't that kind of Luthor at all. It was more akin to this kind of comedic, they had a slapstick thing going. I love the fact that they kind of reunited the dumb henchman along with Miss Tessmacher style of thing. So that all was fine. And I'm not saying that Lex Luthor can't have some humor to him, some lightheartedness to him. But Gene Hackman, even with what he did, he was still very much a commanding presence. It's the same thing that I have with Brandon Routh. Same issue that I have with Brandon Routh is Superman versus Christopher Reeve. Everybody makes this comparison for some reason of Christopher Reeve with Brandon Routh, and they say, oh, Brandon was just like Christopher Reeve. He looked like him. It was like he just inherited the role and was just perfect for that role. And see, to me, I don't see any of that, because what I see when I watch Superman Returns, and I just had this conversation this morning. When I watch Superman Returns, I see a guy who doesn't have any lines. That's what I see. Christopher Reeve, he delivered these powerful lines as Superman. He had his chest out, and you could see that physical transformation in him when he went from Clark Kent with this hunched over kind of thing to standing up. And Superman was a man. He was a strong man. He had a commanding presence on screen. And then they gave Chris a lot of lines. And when Chris would deliver these lines like, excuse me, General, do you care to step outside? I mean, that kind of thing. And the lines that he gave, he delivered with such passion and such command that you had to respect him every time he was on screen. When Brandon Routh speaks, it's timid, it's quiet, unsure. Even the moments that are supposed to be these, Superman stating who he is or what he's doing or whatever, still comes across as about the strongest that I saw in that movie. And that's another thing, right? So visually, there's a lot of great, awesome moments in Superman Returns. The bullet to the eye thing, that moment where he looks down after the bullet hit his eye, and he looks down and he looks back up at the guy. Brilliant moment. Awesome moment. The recreation of Action Comics #1, where he's setting down the car with the woman in it, it's a recreation of Action Comics #1. Great scene when he's holding on to the globe of the Daily Planet. Brilliant. Lots of great visuals when he's hovering above the city, looking down on the city. Excellent stuff there. But anytime Brandon gets on a one-on-one conversation or he has to be in command of a scene, it just falls flat. And somebody else has to basically pull it up for him. I didn't feel like that was necessarily what happened with Jon Cryer, because I did feel that Jon Cryer was probably the best actor in every scene that he was in. But he just didn't have the physical presence for me. I love Michael Rosenbaum. Michael Rosenbaum is still to this day my favorite Lex Luthor. And I know that Michael gave his blessing to yesterday to John's performance and said what an awesome job he did, but it's really more of a comment about, shaving his head, because Michael Rosenbaum is famous for, not having to shave his head. And so it was kind of a nod to that. A lot of talk about the dome and all that stuff. And yes, he did pay a little bit of homage to the performance itself, but I just didn't feel it. So now I've seen it. We've all seen it. We've seen part 1. Those of you who have seen part 1, let me know what you guys thought. What did you really think? I've seen a lot of people coming out saying, oh, it was awesome. He was amazing. See, I told you so. And, and that's fine. If you liked it, you liked it. But what did you like about it, really? I mean, I would love for you to explain to me what it is that you liked about it. We're having this conversation now, and I've explained to you what I didn't like about it, that it wasn't the writing, it wasn't the character, it wasn't his acting. It's just really just him. I never saw Lex Luthor. It's kind of that thing where it's like, now, anytime I watch a Tom Cruise movie, all I see is Tom Cruise. I don't see anybody else. I couldn't tell you half the people, the characters that he actually plays, because all I see is Tom Cruise doing something, right, on screen. Same thing with Will Smith. I just see Will Smith doing whatever Will Smith is doing. The whole time I saw Jon Cryer playing Lex Luthor, I never thought, that's Lex Luthor. That's Lex Luthor right there. When I watch Michael Rosenbaum as Lex Luthor, that's Lex Luthor. When I watch Gene Hackman, even though they're two totally different types of characters, when I watch Gene Hackman play Lex Luthor, that's Lex Luthor. When I watch Jon Cryer play Lex Luthor, there's Jon Cryer. It's just my opinion, folks. But I would love to hear from you. What is your thought on Jon Cryer's version of Lex Luthor? What are you hoping to see here in the next episode, and then maybe in the season finale? let me know down in the comment section. Leave a comment. And also, don't forget that this month we have another giveaway. At the end of the month, we'll be doing our giveaway for our Shazam action figure. So if you want to be in on that, all you got to do is be a subscriber, hit notifications, leave a comment. In that comment, why don't you tell me who your favorite Lex Luthor is, and then also mention the fact that you want to be in the running for the Shazam action figure, so that I know that that's what you want to do. All right, so that you'll be in the running for it. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for being a part of this channel. We appreciate all of you, and all I got to say is he's not the villain of the story. All right, guys, until next time, bye-bye.
So if you've made it this far into the video, thanks so much. We're so glad to have you here. Please make sure to like this video, hit subscribe, and as always, hit the notifications bell so that you know when we put out new videos, which is like all the time. Thanks for coming along for the ride. We hope you're here for more. Bye-bye.